I think we're finally on YouTube.
Oh, yeah?
I think we've been on YouTube, but now we're officially streaming live onto the YouTube for people who are, clicking the button to play or pressing or tapping, whatever the terminology is when you use a different mode of watching the video.
You're a genius right now, Chris.
I know. What the hell did you drink me?
Did you have a little too much beer there, big guy?
No, I didn't have. I had one of the very. What was it? There was a 9 on the bottle.
Well, 1 to you is like 3 to a normal person. So it was an imperial stout.
Pretty strong. I'm done.
Hey, did you see? I even wore the shirt.
Yeah, I have my Dark Trooper. This is ow.
Here. Oh God, I gotta go grab mine. I'll be right back.
Zip it up. I can't. My nose is in the way. Hello, everybody. We're live streaming this on the internet, and my name is Chris Pirillo, and that's Jerry. He's also known as Varnacles Nerd Ghana. I've got the link to Jerry's channel in this video's description. Both of us are very tired doing this live stream, just so you know. So it may only last an hour because I think I'm only going to last about 45 minutes, which is going to make the last 15 minutes of this video broadcast.
That's what she said, huh, Diana?
Different. She didn't say anything. You're putting words in my wife's mouth.
Oh, I thought he said seconds. Never mind.
Seconds? That doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, because you said 45 minutes. I said that's what she said. And then I said, no, those seconds. 40.
Sextants.
Who's
Who's the one making up words here? That's all I'm saying. So thank you for tuning in for another live broadcast, which involves beer between Jerry and myself. He gets his own bottle. I get my own bottle because that's really what we do. I have towels underneath the camera this time around because enough people complained the last time, all 2 of you.
Should we test it?
Well, I guess we could.
Is that better?
We don't know if it's better or worse.
We don't know. We made an effort, though.
We tried, at least. You know that we tried, and I know we could probably spend extra money on boom mics, but those are, not likely going to happen here because I'm in my dining room, and I don't want to mess with the speakers and danglings from the chandelier. So, if you have questions, feel free to ask the questions that you might have. If you don't have questions, do not ask them, please, because we don't like fielding questions that have not been asked.
Yeah.
It's something that I prefer not to do. And I know that some YouTubers do that. They ask for questions, then don't get the questions, then answer the questions that inevitably did not get asked.
Chris, you are not making any sense, bro.
But you got to understand that it's understandable at a level for you, but for the people watching, they totally get me. We're on the same wavelength.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Here, I'm gonna do you solid here, boss.
Utterly. Am I off?
Yeah, you were just kind of like rubbing the wall over there, and it's kind of looking weird.
No, we're looking balanced. Look at that.
Oh,
Look
really?
at that. That's good. That's good.
Oh, we are? Okay.
Look, no, we're delayed over there.
Yeah, no. It looked like you were doing this. It looked like you were like, hey, guys. Hey, look at me. I'm outside there, guys. What's going on?
No, you're wrong. I was. This is fine.
Chris, you shut your dirty whore mouth and let's answer some questions. Chris, I ran out of beer already. Diana, can I have another beer, please?
Get him the shoot.
What? What's a shoot?
What you got right there? The black butt.
Oh, are you trying to give these to me because I drink them so fast?
No, I offered them to you earlier because
Chris is trying to give me the bad beer. I want the good beer.
You want the good one?
Yeah, can I have the good beer?
Give him the Rasputin.
Thank you.
Well, but no, you
What am I doing?
I offered you either one of them.
No, I said I wanted to start with this and then have the Rasputin for the stream.
Okay. Hey guys.
No. First read the name because I like seeing you like try to pronounce people's names. It's hilarious.
Christian Magdaleno.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I know it was pretty good because I can speak. Unlike some people I know of.
You was butchering names so bad last time. Thank you.
Well,
I know that belly makes it hard to bend over the table.
Yeah,
Trust me,
I know. My pregnant wife. Hang on, my pregnant wife just brought you beer.
That was kind of a fantasy of mine, Chris.
Well, I'm happy to have fulfilled it.
Actually, she fulfilled it.
We are getting. Well, I'm happy to have facilitated you being fulfilled.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
You can ask us questions in the live stream if you want. Or we are giving a priority to those who are patrons of mine. The link for that is also in the video's description. So Christian, as I was saying...
What was the last name again?
Magdaleno.
Yeah.
Hey guys, first of all, thank you Chris and Diana for sending me the postcard.
I didn't get a
Quick
postcard.
question, it's because you're not a patron at that level.
What level do I got to be at, Chris? I give you like $5.
No. I think it's the 25 level patrons. We send them postcards because otherwise we'd spend our entire day doing postcards, which is great. But you just can't.
You ain't worth $25.
That's not.
I'll just come to your house and drink.
This is what I'm saying. I don't think I'm doing anything that. But my autograph would be worth something when I'm dead.
Hey, I'll send you guys a postcard for $23.50.
All you got to hope for is that I die at some point, and then everything that I do is worth something. This is what I'm saying. No artist was ever big when they were alive.
You're never gonna die, Chris. Nobody's that lucky.
Oh, trust me, I will die one day, and people will watch this video and going, I'm wasting my time watching this, of him wasting his time talking because no one understands what he's saying.
You're gonna just say in strings of words, aren't you?
For sending me this postcard.
Okay.
Quick question for you and Jerry. Do you think Microsoft will ever make their app market better by adding more apps that actually work and are most used? I love Microsoft products like the Lumia 1520. Looks amazing.
It is.
Looks like a waste of a phone with no good apps. So this is like an evergreen question. It's asked very frequently, at least of me. Like, when is Windows Phone getting apps? What is Microsoft doing to get the app developers to develop for the apps for the Windows Phone apps?
Yeah.
No, that's what the question is.
No, I think that's the answer too, though. Unfortunately, it's just kind of like, I mean, you need developers to develop for the platform to get more apps, and developers only want to develop for a platform that already has 1 million apps and already has an established marketplace.
So what is Microsoft doing then?
Well, we're just waiting for Apple and Google to die.
That's a great plan, Bart.
No, it is. They're eventually going to crash into a wall.
Who says who? Who's crashing into
Well, they
what?
were going to sue each other into oblivion. But
Until Friday.
Yeah, but then they decided to all of a sudden get along. That plan didn't work.
No more patent suing. This is what they... Well, they didn't
I didn't even know companies could, like, call truces like that. Like, no,
of course
hey, we can break each other's law, bro. It's okay.
It's all good. I break your law, you break mine. It's all
mutually break it.
Evens out. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no harm, no foul.
I think that Microsoft can pull it off, but it's going to be a few years from now.
It will be.
When more people just don't care about installing apps, and it'll happen. I think it'll eventually happen.
Well, there's one other piece I'll add, too, and that is developers like to be able to create one thing and proliferate it across multiple platforms. Right. And there are a lot of technologies that allow that to happen now, like mono develop and things like that allow you to use one language and then push it across all the platforms. The problem is a lot of the people that have already been developing for systems like iOS use like a language like Objective-C, which is like, as far as I'm concerned, a really arcane.
Well, but that's a very objective
perspective. I don't care. I can say it on this show.
Okay.
Chris?
The problem with mono is that all the developers have it, so they can't actually work to get it done.
Well, mono is what we want them to have, though.
Like, but when you have mono...
They need to stop writing Objective-C.
You stay in bed all day.
Yeah. That's true.
It's the staying
and it's the kissing disease.
Bed all day.
If I remember.
Kissing. I never got.
Isn't mono the kissing disease?
I never got.
Diana, isn't mono the kissing disease? Yeah. See, all girls know that.
I didn't get kissed when
Did you ever have mono?
I never had mono though.
You had mono like 40 times.
No. Mine was twice as bad. I had duo. It was so bad. She laughed at my joke.
Well, it sunk in. It took a little while to get by me. I was like, duo? Is that like 2?
Well, yeah, it's twice as bad.
Did you just hit your wiener on the table or something?
No, that was my... Okay, if my wiener is on my foot, this is my foot, Jerry.
Don't be holding that up in front of the camera, dude. This is a family show.
Foot! And it all... Can you read, Jerry? Can you read what it says up there? It says uncensored.
Where?
Unfucking censored. Right there.
All I see is your fancy chandelier with like endangered doves on it. No, I'm just kidding.
That's over there, Jerry. I don't know. Endangered doves.
I don't know. It's all I could come up with.
Pull that out of your ass.
I pull a lot of things out of my ass.
I don't want to know. I don't think anybody really cared for that.
You'll know about it about halfway through
George
the show.
Barrett asked roughly how many... I don't know if did we even really address the question? Or is it addressed?
No. Okay, hold on. Let's just... Here, okay. I'll give it a nice,
definitive,
quick... Okay, the definitive answer is all the developers need to decide on a singular platform that they can proliferate across all of the different platforms, and then all the apps will be on everything at the same time.
Thank you. George Barrett. See, I said his name fine. Roughly how many names of followers would either of you say you know or remember within your communities? Do you notice when followers of yours start interacting with other YouTubers you may have mentioned? For instance, I found Jerry through Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Is that kind of trend noticeable to either of you? Has Patreon further illustrated this to you, Chris? Yes, I recognize names. I do. I know George Barrett. I know that name. I also know Christian Magdaleno as well, and Mitchell Wilson, and Zeo Fox, and Stephen Palmer. So, the more you comment, the more you interact, not just on one platform, but many platforms, the more I get to know you as a person, because suddenly, instead of you just being interested in the stuff that I might be doing, I may see something that I'm interested in that you might be doing, and it's just the names. It's familiarity. So, yes. I do absolutely recognize names.
And yes, I do recognize names, but since I don't do the Patreon thing, I have like 9,000 people on Twitter, and I think 6,000 on Facebook, and 107,000 on YouTube.
But how many of those actually communicate on a regular basis? See, because I mean, let's
say even what, let's just say less than probably 1% are like the mega communicators. So it is easy to see them, and especially when they interact with you on a personal level, which I have a lot of people that I go back and forth with, and I learn their personality. So it's like, it's not just a name anymore. It's like I actually know that person. It registers with me.
And I feel the same way. And I think that's it doesn't scale. Like, I couldn't pay attention to everybody eventually, but it's something where the more I see the name, the more I recognize patterns. And
the little, don't stop changing your images.
Yeah, I don't see. That's another reason.
I have like this image recognition thing. Like, I'll forget a name, but the image I never forget. So like, I keep having people change their image, and I'm like, that name looks familiar, and I'm like, oh, it's that dude. Stop changing your image.
My Twitter never changes. My Facebook sometimes changes.
God, it's like everybody on the internet has plastic surgery like daily. It's annoying.
Not me. I don't.
Mitchell
either. Wilson said, "Wait, which kind of plastic? ABS or PLA?"
Oh, you threw some 3D printing shit out there. Woo! No, that was cool. I liked it.
That was for my credit.
I liked it.
Mitchell Wilson II asked, so I'm moving to the Seattle area in January.
Of course you are.
Do either of you have a suggestion as to what area to move into? Well, it's a big area. You know,
I recommend Eastern Washington.
I don't. Western Washington's great. Eastern Washington's very agrarian.
Chris, we don't want the YouTubers to be moving in next door.
Oh, we don't want you moving in next door. Yeah. Apparently. Yeah. You know, honestly, it's a big region. And there are, you know, it just depends on you. Everybody's different, right? Some people like one side of town. Some other people like the other side of town. It's very difficult. I mean, not only to find a place where you'd want to be, but also Seattle's not the cheapest place to live either. Not at all.
Well, Seattle's horrible. Who the hell would want to live in Seattle?
Well, some people would. But it just depends on what you want. So it's difficult for me to say, and I've been asked this question several times over, so it's not like I'm withholding information. I don't know. My suggestion is move here, find a place that's comfortable for you, and explore. Like, you know, go around and decide what you like in terms of, you know, where it's located, how, you know, getting around, you know, things that are around that place where you'd want to move to. So plan on spending 1 or 2 years just kind of feeling your way around, and then ultimately settle in an area that you like.
That was a good answer.
I thought
that was like better than most realtors will give you.
Well, it's because I'm not a realtor. I care, but it's up to Mitchell. Zeo Fox asked, who would win in a fight? Batman?
I knew this was coming.
Batman or Spider-Man? I'd say Batman.
Oh wait, Spider-Man and Batman?
Yeah, Spider. You thought it was Superman?
Batman? Oh, I thought it was Superman. Oh no. I'm with Chris on this one. Batman would just fuck Spider-Man up like that.
I think it would be
Spider-Man be like, Batman be like, what, dude? I already invented 20 ways to dodge that. Like, he'd actually just run Batman over with his damn Batwing helicopter.
Wait, Spider-Man. He'd run Spider-Man over. Batman's in the Batwing.
Oh, yeah.
So, I would say Batman would beat Spider-Man.
I see. Okay.
Hey, who had the beers?
I'm working on it.
Yeah, I know you're...
This is beer number 2.
Lightweight over here. That's your new nickname.
I've never been called Lightweight ever.
That's your new nickname.
Can you start calling me Tiny, too?
Lightweight.
Hi, I'm Lightweight Tiny. I used to make your
acquaintance. This is Lightweight. The last hashtag we had was Grapeseed.
Grapeseed.
This hashtag is, if you've watched this video after it was live or even during the live broadcast, hashtag Lightweight.
Lightweight.
I like it. That's the hashtag for this Lightweight over here. Stephen Palmer asks, Jerry, do you like The Simpsons? And what Android device would you recommend me buying?
Okay, hold on. Whoa.
It's like two different.
Okay. I can address the first one. Do I like The Simpsons? Yes, I've watched Simpsons since the very first episode. I remember even sitting and watching the first episode on one of those CRT-based televisions.
Okay, I was gonna say. I thought you were gonna say monitor. I'm
cathode ray tubes. Same for TVs.
Yeah, boob tubes.
You know, what is it? 240p. And
where tube comes from, the actual back of the CRT.
Yeah, so I remember sitting and watching the very first episode, and I probably watched almost every episode. There's probably some I've missed, but almost every episode I like it. And the other one is, why would you ask a Microsoft employee what Android device to buy? And the answer is, get a Nexus 7. They're actually pretty awesome.
Android device. Yeah. You know, I would prefer the Nexus 5 over the Nexus 7.
Well, that's because you're smaller than me. Like,
no,
they're relatively the same size to us.
More of the apps that I found for Android are optimized for a smaller screen, not necessarily. Android as a tablet experience hasn't quite gelled for me at this stage. Even the stuff that Amazon puts out with a modified version of Android,
it's still a little screen.
I'd still go Nexus 5. Nexus 5 or a Google Play edition. But that being said, the Note 3, even with Samsung's TouchWiz, is a pretty good experience. Even Diana likes that one as well. So even that for a phablet. But I like the Nexus 5. That's one of my favorite Android devices.
Get a Nexus 7.
Get a Nexus 5.
All right.
Don't listen to the lightweight. Nathaniel Stewart. I'm having a great time with these names.
You can't say anything else but the names you're nailing tonight. I love
it. What's your take on the new iPhone 6? Well, I don't think it's been released yet.
I saw somebody made a phony 3D model and everybody kept telling me to print it. Like, why would I print a 3D fake phone? I don't get that.
Do you believe the leaks are close to the real thing? I don't know. And do you think Apple leaked products on purpose? No. In order to gain interest? No.
No.
Or insight into what people think? No.
No, they actually gain more interest by not leaking stuff.
This is one of the reasons why I don't like diving into rumors. I don't like diving into leaks because ultimately people put so much faith in that. Then when, let's say, a company like Apple ships something and it's so dissonant from what the actual product is, like the rumor compared to the actual product, then people are upset at the company for not doing anything wrong other than not fulfilling their expectations of what they thought the product or service was going to be. So this is why I think rumor sites need to be slapped upside the head. That's why I don't like talking about rumors. That's why I don't think you should believe rumors. Believe it when it ships. Believe it when they announce something. And then hold them to that. But if you hold people to your own disillusionment, that's a problem. When you hold companies to what you believe they were going to do, that's your problem, not the company's problem. I'm not slagging Nathaniel directly. I'm just saying this is why I don't like... This is why I don't trust a quote-unquote journalist who spreads rumors. I just don't.
Nathaniel, stop trying to... I just spit all over everything.
There's interesting... It's interesting to me, but it's fascinating, and I like seeing it and talking, well, what if? So we can talk about what if the iPhone 6 had a bigger screen. What if? And that's fine. But in terms of believing or putting any faith in rumors, it completely destroys anybody's credibility. I don't like it. I just don't like it because I think ultimately it's a disservice to the general community who follows those rumors.
What are you, a fucking politician over here?
No.
Nathaniel, stop spreading rumors. Stop starting rumors.
Politicians.
Stop it.
I'm not being very clear. I think, but he's not off. He's asking a very good question. I don't hold it against Nathaniel or anybody, but this is one of the reasons why I don't like talking about rumors. Is why I don't like spreading rumors. It just doesn't work. It didn't work in high school when this person over here. Blah, 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 did you hear about blah, 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 blah? It didn't work in high school.
No, that shit was
true. It doesn't
true.
work in the real world. No, it's definitely not true.
It would have been helpful to know that.
Natasha Carmona asks, Chris, you seem really passionate about the customer having a great user experience when it comes to technology today. I agree. UX design is incredibly important, particularly...
You know what UX stands for?
User experience.
Dude, you are hot
incredibly important, particularly in as tech matures and becomes more prevalent in our daily lives. Mm-hmm. My question is this. Have you ever considered becoming a UX designer, even if it was on a contract or freelance basis?
Whoa. I would never use a UI designed by this guy. Like,
not a UI, UX.
User experience is still including a UI, you jackass.
No, it isn't. UI is not UX. Two completely
If you don't have a good
things.
UI, how are you going to have a good user experience?
Okay, you can have a good user experience without a good UI.
Give me an example.
DOS.
Yeah, fuck you.
DOS
worked. Did you just pull DOS?
DOS worked.
Well, DOS had a user interface. It was a blinking cursor.
That was a user interface. My point is, the overarching user experience is not directly tied to UI.
So you're seeing the broad picture, everything all working together harmoniously to give you. Okay,
now I'm saying the design, the ethos. I think, and I think that's what the UI is talking to. I wouldn't trust me with UX or UI either. I can tell you what's a bad user experience versus what's a good one. If I use something or try to use something for 30 seconds and can't even deal with it anymore, that's a bad user experience.
I can get along with a poorer UI if I'm having a good user experience. I'm able to get the job done. It works. Is it beautiful? No, not necessarily, but the user experience is generally.
I am genuinely interested in seeing you design a user experience
for something. I wouldn't trust it, Jerry.
I don't care what it is.
No, I wouldn't
like
trust
a fork, just a table fork.
No,
I want to see him come up with the user experience.
But I wouldn't trust me. I know. Here's the thing. I know enough to tell you how I would react. I'm more on the QA side of things, or the quality.
So if I put an apple and an orange in front of you, you'll pick the apple or the orange, but you won't give me a third option.
What? What now?
So you're only good at picking from things that already exist. You're not good at coming up with your own?
I couldn't do my own.
Damn it. I would love to see Chris.
I couldn't do my own.
Chris, we should create an OS. We can call it Pirillo OS.
I can tell you what could be done better. Like if I see something, I could say, okay, this needs to be improved. What you're trying to accomplish here is this goal, but you're not accomplishing it the right way. So I can see, or accomplishing it in as much expediency as possible. I can tell you where good decent user experiences fall short of good user experiences, but I don't think I would have the skill to be able to pull off designing a user experience.
I want to see you define the perfect vlogging camera. I want to see you, because nobody has more exposure to vlogging than you do. I would love for you to sit down and just write like a little technical schematic that's like, here is the ultimate vlogger camera, and then go get a company to create it. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I don't think I want to do that. I turn into the Homer.
Then you'd just be defending your shit all the time. You'd just
exactly.
be like, man, it's the best fucking thing ever. People would be like, I hate how you have to scroll the little thing over. And he's like, it's because of my GIMP finger, you son of a bitch.
No, that's exactly, I don't want to do it. Roman Lubers asks, Chris, is the name of your child going to be Jerry or Jerry? I believe you said it was unisex.
Hey, I vote for Jerry.
Jerry is not going to happen.
Yeah, I vote for Jerry.
I don't know anybody who has the name of the intended name for baby Pirillo. Daniel Hughes asks, or says, hey, Chris and Jerry, you said in a TLDR that you're looking to upgrade your Mac Pro. Would you ever consider getting a Mac Mini if they release new ones this year? i7 and 16 gigs of RAM would make a nice system. Yes and no. The nice thing about the current Mac Pro that I have has lasted 6 years. It's lasted 6 years. A Mac Mini could last probably just as long.
Wait, are you still on like the Power PC base?
No, I'm on Intel.
Okay.
This is like it's a Xeon, but I don't even think the i3, i5, i7.
But it's like the first generation that they flipped over, isn't it?
No. I don't. No,
6 years ago? God, that would have been.
It was an Intel. I mean, maybe it was one of the first Intel Mac Pros. It may be.
It probably is.
It was early 2008. Early 2008. So. The reason why, I went with it, it ended up finding a sponsor. It cost a lot of money, but it's lasted 6 years. And I don't think that the way that I use computers, I don't think a Mac Mini would work for me over that period of time. Like, I won't be ready. I use this this MacBook Pro that I'm using to stream out live on the internet right now. I'm using a MacBook Pro. I will probably be ready to upgrade this 3 years after I purchased it. And then, because by then, in the 3-year cycle, things will have improved. It'll become faster, which for video processing is everything. Yeah. Speed. So, I very rarely want to upgrade or buy something with the intention on upgrading any less than every 3 years. The Mac Pro, I've been lucky enough to have not needed to upgrade. I don't know. It may last another year before I go with a new Mac Pro. And it likely will be a Mac Pro on my desktop. I don't think I would go with a Mac Mini for my desktop. It wouldn't be enough power for the kind of stuff that I might be doing on a regular basis. So what about you?
I agree.
Okay, he agrees.
I agree. Mac Mini, piece of garbage. Just don't.
I would say it's a piece of
garbage.
No.
It's shush. Just garbage.
It is not garbage.
Move on. Piece of
Matthew
shit.
Purcell asks, what third-party app other than social media app do you use the most on your phone?
That's a good
that's social.
I don't know. Yeah, because pretty much all we do now is like...
The LockerGnome app, which is free and it sent out a free push notification. Oh, that's Amazon. We're shopping for baby crap. Amazon, there you go. Amazon. Buy crap on Amazon.
I mean, for me, like, I listen to music. I use Pandora probably the most as far as...
I listen to a lot of music, but yeah, I guess maybe that.
I mean, that's probably about it. I mean, I use Skype, but that's still kind of social networking-ish. I mean, you're still talking to people.
Communication.
Is Instagram social network? Is it?
Social.
Damn it.
I play games briefly. Like, I'll get into a game and then drop it. Usually a very
Have I really become that person where I've become a 16-year-old girl? All I do is social networking on my cell phone.
So he's a 16-year-old girl lightweight now.
Oh, yeah.
That's one hell of a hashtag.
Yeah, leave me alone. Barely legal.
But Matthew Purcell also said, don't bang the table. Too late. Why do you have to say don't?
You tell me not to do it, I'm going to do it.
That's the problem with us. John Whitaker asked, hi, all the best to you.
Is Forrest Whitaker his brother?
It could very well be. Okay. This question is to both of you. And Diana.
Diana!
If you had to pick a character out of Lord of the Rings, who would you be and why? I'd be Gandalf.
I'd be Gandalf.
No, I'd be Gandalf.
Neither one of you is tall enough to be Gandalf.
Exactly why I would be Gandalf.
You have to pick a hobbit.
Okay, lightweight.
All right, if we're going that direction, then I guess I'll be Bilbo Baggins then.
Okay, there you go.
All right.
Gandalf, because he's a wizard.
Bilbo Baggins could kick Gandalf's ass.
I always wanted to be a wizard. Oh, is that why Gandalf kind of came back from the dead and shit? Like, he fell off fighting the Balrog, and then came back, like, come back to you at the turn of the tide.
That wasn't really him. It was a clone.
No, it wasn't a clone.
No, it was a clone. I watched no Star
Wars.
Wars.
It was Gandalf the White.
It was Gandalf the fucking clone is what it was.
No, it wasn't. It was Gandalf the fucking White.
No, the clone.
The fucking White.
He died. You don't just come back from that. Coming back
Really?
from death,
He's
that's called
Gandalf.
cloning. You take a cell, you bring it back to life, it's cloning. Well, you don't bring it back to life. It's still alive. You take a cell.
It's Gandalf. It's Gandalf.
Whatever. I'll be Bilbo, because then I'll just put the ring on and just run around and do whatever I want.
Bilbo.
Never have to buy anything again. Just walk through and just pick it up because you're invisible.
John Whitaker clarifies. Should have said to play a character. Shit. Well, then I'm Bilbo.
You could. My point was valid. Without stilts, you cannot play.
I did not say your point was invalid.
Hey, he does wear a robe though, so you could do stilts.
No, the question was if you had to pick a character, and that was my answer to the character question. Who would you be, hun? Now you have to say
who's the fattest character in Lord of the Rings?
Bomber.
Would it be him?
Well, he's not Lord of the Rings. He's Hobbit, but in the Tolkien universe.
All right,
Middle
fair
Earth,
enough. All right.
Bomber.
I want to be the fat one.
Hagrid. He was big.
Hagrid?
Yeah, he was in the Lord of the Rings.
Was he?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, not the same. I was like, what the hell?
He's in the Harry Potter.
I was like, is there some junction between Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings that I don't know about?
He was in the Harry Potter. I was trying to throw you off. Brendan Gifford asked, when is Barnacles going to get a Patreon account so we can support him too? I love the idea that a whole bunch of seemingly insignificant donations make stuff like this live stream happen.
That's the best explanation I've ever seen. Patreon should adopt that. Patreon, when you go to their webpage, it should say seemingly insignificant donations make someone's life better.
Some people may equate, a quote-unquote insignificant donation as being insignificant, and it's not. Everybody matters. Everybody counts. So
the answer to that question is tomorrow.
So apparently tomorrow is when it's going to happen.
We'll see. I kind of do.
Didn't you want to do that? The Jed. What do you call
Jethro Red Leader.
Yeah. Red Leader.
No. I already started kind of introducing him to Instagram, and he's kind of a rough sell. But we'll see. I might start.
Don't go with the rough sell, dude. You gotta have it's got to be in.
I might. I'll figure out something because I do kind of want to have like a little niche audience kind of off to the side. I think that would be kind of cool because communicating live with 9,000 people every day is a little bit tricky.
Well, we're communicating live with 288 people right now. Only 214 of them have
I don't believe that counter. The counters have been really, really screwed up today.
Dude, not just today.
Yeah.
All counters across the board with YouTube have been messed up. Jenny Propus asks, Chris, I saw your barbecue on the deck.
Why is her last name all in capitals?
I don't, because maybe it's a...
It's like, hi, my name is Jenny Propus! That's what it sounded like. Rip headphone users. Sorry. It's just hey, when you're on the internet as long as I've been, when you see all caps in your head, it's when I read it, I swear to God I wasn't joking. When I read it, that's what I read it. I was like, Jenny Propus!
Do you ever have people over and use it? No, I do not. I'll bet Slav could make some bacon wrapped ribs on there. Yes, he could. What about a 4th of July party and could you vlog it? It would be fun. Possibly.
Yeah, Chris, why you gotta be a big prude? I want to have a big party and eat your ribs.
You gotta clean the grill?
No, you can just have Consuela do it.
Who?
Consuela.
Who's Consuela?
She's one of your migrant workers that works in the basement.
My wife is of Mexican heritage? That was so racist.
No, she doesn't care. She likes Consuela. That's why she hired her.
No.
Superman no here.
No here.
He no here. No. I love my favorite character, hands down, in Family Guy.
No. Matt Bodell. Which internet site or service do you find essential to your daily life?
I refuse to answer that question.
Email.
Just kidding.
No, it says except YouTube, Google. It took
you that long to figure it out. Oh, that was
Email.
priceless. That was priceless,
Email,
Chris.
email,
Okay.
email.
What? I don't even get the answer now?
Okay, fine. Well, I thought you did.
Wait, it can't be social networking?
No.
I'm going to have to go down the list pretty far on this one.
You know, this is going to be an hour long, and we're about halfway through, Jerry, so...
Just call them your tits. I'm figuring this out.
You guys got to stop saying
eBay.
Jerry.
eBay.
Okay.
eBay.
Fine.
Call them your tits. Calm them. Calm them, Chris.
He's the reason I say it, hun. Diana doesn't like that, and I'll say that, and she get really mad. And then I was listening to a Star Wars
notice how I say it
podcast.
and she laughs?
No,
Oh,
I know.
I love it.
I know, but as soon as I say it, she goes, Mimi.
You know why?
Don't say that.
You know why?
Why?
See? When you got that, there's certain things you can't say to your wife. You can say it to other people's wives. You can't say it to your wife.
I wasn't saying to her, calm your tits. You were saying it to me, and well, actually, I do guess I said it.
Yeah, you did say it to me.
I mean, were they hyper at the time? 'Cause
They were bouncy.
Then fair enough. You can't really get
Shit
mad
was
at them
all
for that,
over the
then.
place. I mean, her tits needed calm.
As long as it was contextually relevant, we're good.
When do I do something that is not contextually relevant?
Did you like how I threw out that big word
Yeah,
right there? I thought that was
it's
pretty
pretty
cool.
good.
I had to
It's
dig
sexy.
deep for that one.
All right, calm
Okay.
your tits. Don't bang the table.
Where?
No. Okay, we already did it. They already said it. I think it was a preemptive. Don't bang the table. John Prosser asked, interesting question. Chris and Jerry.
I love John, by the way. John, I love you.
John is awesome.
No, slightly homo. Okay.
Chris and Jerry, you both have to switch YouTube channels for a week. This means that you have to at least produce the content that is promised on each channel. Jerry, you have to record your videos live. Chris, yes, this means you have to edit. Sorry, bud. What would you guys do differently on each other? I think it's a hypothetical.
Yeah.
On each other's channel that would seemingly better the content provided.
So we're not trading lives. We're just changing how we do things,
God.
right?
So you'd be able to get away with live every day. I think you could do it. You could do live. I don't know if I could. I'd have to dive deep on a gadget and say it's a piece of shit. I don't know. It's for poor people, and I don't fucking.
Dude, you pretty much summed me up. I mean, that was like...
That's all he does. I got this iPhone case. It's a piece of shit. Fucking.
What are you talking about? All my reviews are positive.
Right.
Have I ever done that?
Okay, so then I would drone on and on and on for like a half hour talking, oh, it's great, and it's an inductive charging, and it's perfect, and all you gotta do is just put it perfectly on the thing, on the plate, and it's awesome, because it transfers, and you don't need to worry about wires or cables, but you have to have it perfectly on spot,
and then repeat
on
the
balls.
same thing a couple more times. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
I do the same thing.
I know, it's so
That's why
hard.
I hate editing video. So I don't know what I would do. Okay, he didn't say parody the other person. He said, what would I do to...
But that wasn't a parody. I'd say that's pretty accurate to
Yeah,
what I
but
do.
what would
I
I
mean,
do?
that was legitimate.
God, it was a piece of shit. Actually, no, see, I would say this is not a piece of shit. This is amazeballs. And everything would be amazeballs.
Well, that depends. Do you also have to take on my daily 9 to 5 job that I have to have too? Because I mean, like, I couldn't.
No,
do your
I
thing
think it's
'cause
just
of that.
videos. What
Oh.
would I do to improve the channel? God, what would I do? I don't think I'm still working on trying to improve my channels.
Let's see here. So it means you at least.
I don't know. I don't think I have an answer to this question because I don't know what I would do. If I had, here's the thing: if I had any suggestions, Jerry, what you need to do? I've never been that way. I've never told anybody what I think they could do.
Yeah. So like, what would we
I'm
do
not.
differently?
I'm not in that. I've never been in that. I don't know. I've never done it.
I mean, my only advice to you is, like I said earlier, you need to make Diana wear more bikinis because that'll get you more subscribers.
She's launching her own channel, and it'll be the Bikini Mama.
Bikini mom. Nice.
And
Chris, you should wear more wife beaters. Like, you kind of got that whole look going on. Like, if you'd be like, hey, forget about it. Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Like, I think it would bring out a persona that people would like.
I'm just not. I don't like it. I don't like those. They're not soft, or they leave empty space open. I don't like those. I like regular T-shirts.
You're such a weirdo. Okay. So, John, the answer is there's lots of shit we do to each other's channels, but we're not going to say it here.
I don't know what I do. I really don't know what I would do. I don't know what I'd do. I don't have an answer to that question.
I'd like to see you edit your own videos, though. That'd be priceless.
I edit the vlog every day. I have to edit the vlog.
I want to sit there and watch you do it.
Oh, it's a pain in the ass.
Because it doesn't count as editing when you're just dragging the files into your Dropbox.
No. It's quicker. I clip and edit and cut and paste and move, and it's a little more involved than drag drop. I wish it was that simple.
Hey, can I borrow John to edit one of my videos just to see what he'd do differently?
He could do it. I mean, I'm not speaking for him, but I'm saying
I want to see what John would do differently. Like if I gave him the same footage for the same like unboxing or review I did.
He'd make it not suck. I mean, not saying that it sucks. I'm just saying that his.
You do realize I have like 1107,000 subscribers, right?
I do realize this.
They're not all bots,
right?
I mean, I'm guessing there's a percentage there, but
I don't know. I don't have an answer to the question. I don't know.
I'm sorry, John. You kind of threw us a curveball there, dude. Wait,
it's not just a curveball. I don't think I could tell. I don't think I could do anything that would improve somebody else's channel. I really don't. I don't think I'm that kind of producer. Liz says or asks, what is your favorite thing about Canada and not Canadian bacon? We know not what you speak of. Favorite thing about Canada?
They're so nice.
They're nice.
Yeah.
Apparently.
And a lot of their gay people think I'm sexy, so I like that.
It's a win-win situation.
I like that tension. I mean,
Their sushi?
Their sushi's good. Gary Hughes asks a question to Jerry and Chris. Tomorrow we are having a barbecue. What is your favorite thing, meat, whatever, to cook on a barbecue and why?
As long as it breathed at one point, I'm good with it.
Ribs. Michelle.
This is gonna sound so like me,
ribs
but
really
hamburgers and hot dogs. Barbecues. That's my favorite thing at a barbecue. Like when I think barbecue, I think hamburgers and hot dogs.
Hot dogs scare me. Hamburgers are intriguing, but hot dogs really scare me.
Better on the grill.
Are you afraid you're gonna choke on it or something?
No, it's what they put.
You gotta chew first.
I showed Diana what they put in chicken nuggets, and she still wants to eat them.
No, I did actually. I read the whole article on what was in them, and I went like to McDonald's. I was eating chicken nuggets while I was reading the article. I was like, it's a good point. No, I didn't know ammonia was a vitamin. Hey, if Windex can clean your windows, it can clean your colon. Simmer down. Okay. So Gary Hudges. They get that right?
Gary Hughes.
Hughes? Oh, now I'm screwing up the names today. Oh, wait, is he the barbecue guy?
Yes, he's barbecue guy. George Barrett asked, Jerry, when I stop being a poor person, also known as a student, your videos have convinced me I want to give 3D printing a go.
You absolutely should, because by the time that you get out of college and you pay off your student loans, 3D printers will be like $4 and you can get them at the convenience store.
You look bigger than me.
I am bigger than you.
No, I mean, but you're leaning in, so you look substantially larger than me.
Well, I'm lazy, so I rest my arms on the table, and it boosts my shoulders up, and it just makes me look like I'm a big guy.
The discrepancy, objects in this camera's lens are not as big as they may actually appear.
Here, do you want me to be back here? So it's like, is that better?
No, that's worse.
Are we on the same level now?
Worse.
Now they can see the shirt, though.
I think if you
hit...
Jerry, if we hit 1,000 likes during this live broadcast, which we are nowhere near, you should put makeup on Chris with help from Diana. Sounds like a deal, and it happens after a couple of six-packs. Lol. Okay, Brian, here's the deal. If we reach 1,000 likes during this live broadcast, Jerry has to put makeup on me.
I'll do it.
Good luck. You guys have got 20 minutes to figure out how the hell you're going to find 750 more people who actually care.
I'll do it. I'll lipstick that guy.
I'll do it. I will be lip stuck.
And if we get to 2,000, I'll even slow dance with him afterwards.
Slow dance? What the dude, come on. We didn't.
Hey, just go with it. Just go with it, Chris.
We didn't need to
calm down.
Calm your tits.
Did you hear what he said, Diana?
To you.
I am mad at him for that.
To you, not her.
I am mad at that. What are you doing?
I'm refreshing.
Oh, did you refresh it?
This is for Jerry and Trish. Jerry and Chris. I can't even say my own name. I am taking a trip to Washington in July. I would love to come to meet you guys. Can I? I don't know if we're going to do... We need to do a public hangout at some point.
Can we do it at the police station, though?
Right this way. I think it's a great idea. Ryan Collins. Why does the vlog go up 2 a.m. the next day on the East Coast? I don't know. Roman Lubers asks, hey guys, out of the cool futuristic stuff in the world of sci-fi, which one would you like to see come into our world and why?
Holodeck, and you know why.
Yeah.
Don't even, you know. Even Diana knows. She's over there smirking.
Hyperspace. I think hyperspace would be fun. Could travel between stars and...
Who cares? On a holodeck, you can just go anywhere, anytime, and do anything.
Yeah, but that's not real. A holodeck's just a division. You know? You
Dude, the internet's not real. But
close your eyes, Jerry. Close your eyes. There's your holodeck. Shut the fuck up. We're moving on.
No, that's the holodeck with the power off.
We're moving on. And I think that's actually... You gained patrons on the stream already. Oh, cool. Chris, will you buy an Oculus Rift when the final version is released? Depends how expensive it is and how many applications I would actually use. I'm not much of a gamer, so I don't know if I would use it for that. I've seen some interesting applications, like what is it? The tanks in Norway, or I guess military in Norway now use it, and they can move their head around and like basically see through the tank. Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. But I don't know where I would have place for it in my life or here at home. I'm not
If they fix the resolution problem, I'd love the thing. I'd use it for everything. I'd like surf the web with it. My computer would just be a keyboard and a mouse on like a card table, but in my virtual world it'd be like 40 screens and it'd be awesome.
What do you think about the evolution of 3D printers as it stands today? I'm a designer and the idea of 3D printing is really interesting to me, so I'd like to get some valuable opinions. What's your advice? Wait or get into it now, asks Bader said.
That's a tough one. It depends on what you want to do with the technology, but I would say if you're just going to be a general consumer and you want to actually create stuff to like use and work around your house, I'd say wait, because right now it does take a little bit of effort to like calibrate things and figure things out. And even the best printers that they have out right now still kind of have a little bit of a learning curve. But that's getting smaller and smaller every day. So at some point, they're going to have a 3D printer that's basically, it's probably going to say Epson on the side of the damn thing, or Hewlett Packard. Because they'll come in and sweep everything away once everybody does all the hard work. But then you'll be able to go into a big box store and just buy the printer, basically take it home, plug it in, stick in a media cartridge, and say, yeah, print me some new sneakers, and it'll just do it.
Priscilla, a.k.a. Fox Mamba, said...
Oh, that's one of mine.
Old Rasputin...
Foxy.
...will be sold out again at my liquor store in Arizona. That's
Woo!
I don't have the old Rasputin right now.
Did you see the meme that she did?
No.
She's like, I only drink in days that end in Y, and it was a stormtrooper head between 2 6-packs of Rasputin.
No.
Well, she posted
Wait, is Priscilla... I think I've seen her tweet like before saying, I got into this beer because I saw you guys drinking
that's her.
We need to get them as a sponsor.
I know, dude. Seriously.
They never respond to me, though.
Although, Old Rasputin, you probably could glue your labels on a little better. Look, it's just falling off here, Chris. I'm not even doing it.
Yeah, well, you're only peeling it and stuff.
No, I'm not.
I saw another question here. It was like a question that I didn't understand, if I can find it again. Chris, where's the bacon? Every live stream I will ask this. If you don't has the bacon, we kill someone. Not really, says Ryan Collins. Diana hasn't made bacon in a while.
Diana?
No!
Never mind. Truffle shovel.
No, we did that. We can't just do it again.
I know, dude. That's played out.
Do you think Zach Skublik? Is that an I?
Skubik.
Do you think that Microsoft will ever make a Microsoft brand desktop laptop instead of licensing out their Windows OS? Isn't that the Surface?
Yeah, it's not really a desktop. Well, it is a laptop, though. I mean, yeah, they already did. Surface.
Yeah, the Surface, I'd say.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, what do you think about the development of Project Cider for Android that makes iOS apps run on Android? Yadagram asks this, and I don't know about that. I mean, iOS apps are great on iOS. Android apps are great on Android.
What the hell's the legality behind that?
Don't ask me. Well, it's an app. It's not necessarily,
it must not be in the compiled form then. It must be a cross-compiler to compile Objective-C into something that Android can consume. Yeah. I don't know anything about Cider. I'm just pulling this out of my ass, but I'm just thinking for legal concerns, I don't think they could emulate the iOS platform. They wouldn't be able to. So it'd have to be pre-compilation. Okay.
Kyle asked, when it comes to Doctor Who, would you ever want to be a doctor in the series if you're given the opportunity? Yes.
And the franchise would end the next day.
Yes, it'll never happen. But yes,
it would be awesome for Chris, but it would be horrible for the rest of us.
Yeah. Austin Carter asked, "What has been your #1 favorite device out there in the world of technology now?" And also, I've been a longtime subscriber. My favorite gadget.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know.
Your phone, maybe? Because you use it like every 15 seconds?
My phone. Whatever my phone is. Yes.
For me, even though I just said that 3D printing's hard, it'd be 3D printing. Because nothing fascinates me more than watching that thing take something out of the computer and make it something in reality. It still thrills me.
It's cool.
Even if you print something that's completely not practical and is just downright, you're just going to throw it in the garbage afterwards, just watching it come into existence, I just keep getting that whole Star Trek replicator vibe. And it fulfills something in me. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. It makes me tingle.
What's an EVOS or Impreza? Cameron GT McGregor.
Evos or Impreza?
What the hell?
Evo is Mitsubishi. That's their fast four-wheel drive car.
Yes.
Impreza is Subaru's fast all-wheel drive car.
Sure.
So obviously the answer is Impreza because that's what I have.
Obviously.
But
yes,
I do like Evos. Evos are sweet, sweet cars. They're just too easy to drive, and that takes away from the fun. I would rather have a car that almost kills me around every corner because it gets my adrenaline going. Evos, you can just go like this and they just drive themselves. It's annoying.
I like that.
Chris would like the Evo though. Chris would be a totally like Chris. You could put Chris in an Evo and he would be able to like lap me on a track, and I actually know how to drive like fast. So that's how easy it is to drive an Evo. Okay.
Kayla asks, or Kalia asks, what do you think about the lawsuit against Apple about the iMessage not being delivered to Android phones?
What was the evidence behind this? I would love to know what the actual evidence was.
I think there's been enough of it where if you had an Apple ID tied into iMessage and you were sending messages out, it would show as delivered when in fact it wasn't actually delivered. This is a bug that Apple's known about. The fact that they have not fixed it and have had widespread problems with this, I think Apple needs to be called to task.
I'd love to see the source code for that if they just have like a random number generator in there. It's like if ran 10 mod 5, don't send message.
Oh, I doubt it's that deep. I doubt it's that deep. If phone is not iOS, do not send message.
That would be
so
hilarious. That'd be so hilarious. And there's a comment in there. It's
I just don't. I don't know. I'm anxious or antsy to know what comes of it. But I'd likely imagine that someone is working or a team is working overtime at Apple right now to fix that niggling issue. Nate Muskis asks, Jerry, have you thought about printing things for your STI? Gauge, clusters, etc. Also, is it possible to print urethane or Delrin type material to make bushings? Bushings. I thought it was...
I have 3D printed some stuff for my car, some like holders for peripherals and my cob access port and stuff like that, but I haven't printed any like straight up replacement parts. And as far as parts that require a lot of wear, 3D printing is not a good idea for those right now because all the materials that they extrude have relatively low melting points, which means they're not going to hold up well under friction. So bushings and things like that is a no-go. At least for now. At some point, when you can plug the 3D printer into your 220 outlet and it can like melt materials like titanium, then that'll be pretty cool and you can do stuff like that.
Daniel Hadley asked, what would you like to see a company do with the analog TV white space?
Is this like the frequency range that got released when
the wireless stuff?
That's the only thing I could think of. That's exactly what he's talking about.
Open it up. I don't know. That's just me.
No, it's a huge amount of bandwidth.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Open it up and use it for like wireless high-speed internet for people, so that us people out in the boondocks don't have to like get shitty 1 megabit up.
See, I think that it's going to be a matter of time before the idea of what we know TV to be right now, today, is going to be radically changed in less than 10 years, I'd imagine. And I think it's just a matter of time before the idea of a local affiliate, like for NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox, local affiliates, I think, are just, they're going to disappear eventually. And so the more that can be done to kind of hasten that, I think the better off consumers are going to be. There's a value in having, some local entities to serve up the local market, but by and large, I guess I'm not so tied into like local news sources as much as I am the internet, right?
And even local news sources at some point are still going to be just broadcasted on the internet.
Well, not just that, but a lot of local news sources are actually owned by like international conglomerates, so they're not even local, so to speak. A lot of the stories... I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say it's cheaper to actually lease bandwidth, to transmit and multicast over the web, than it is to set up a 5,000-watt VHF tower to shoot the signal out, and it only goes like, 13 miles in every direction or whatever. I don't know what it is, but it's not a very long distance, so it seems to me that the money's better spent on bandwidth.
I would agree, and I think it's the idea... Unfortunately, I think we are shackled as a society. We're shackled to what used to work. We're the memories, the history. And we got to learn to set some of our preconceived notions of what something is and what something isn't in order to grow. Kyle asked, have you heard that they are trying to make an Oculus Rift like the Matrix with chickens?
I think it's awesome.
What?
I hope so.
What? They're
trying to make an Oculus Rift app like the Matrix with chickens. So you're like inside of a world with a bunch of chickens running around. Everything's chickens.
Why?
See, this is the problem, is Chris, you actually need logical reasons for things to happen. I don't. I would absolutely love to put on a Rift and run around and chase chickens.
Jenny Propus asks, hey guys, aren't you going to eat anything tonight? We already did. We ate before sitting down to do this.
Diana fed us pizza.
Yes, she did.
It was tasty.
Stanley Garrier asks, or Garrier? Don't know. Hey, Chris and Jerry, I want to start a business, but I have no experience. What should I do? I have a brilliant idea, but I'm worried I may burn it to the ground. Well, that could happen.
That's a tricky one.
I have a lot of brilliant ideas, too, but I've learned to temper them.
I have conflicting interests here because one is my life mantra is no risk, no reward. Anything that you do is going to... It can end in success. It can end in failure. It doesn't matter how prepared you are. But if you never take the risk, it's always going to end in failure.
That's right.
So you might as well...
Well, you don't, wait, if you don't take the risk, you don't even get to fail.
You don't even get to fail.
Yeah.
Well, we'll say you don't even get to fail. But I see that as a failure in itself because you never know.
Right.
You never know what could have happened, right?
I think it's fair.
So I've taken a lot of risks in my life, and they don't always pan out, and sometimes it straight up sucks. But the ones that do pan out are awesome. Now, as far as you not having any experience, I would say... I mean, the obvious answer is you need to get some experience.
Well,
you do.
In order to do it, in order to get experience.
Yeah, don't just go jump in and say, I'm going to create a business, I'm going to, one step at a time, I'm going to get things, and then hit a brick wall. Go visualize the whole thing, figure out what you need to make it happen, quantify it, see if it's something that's even, relative to what you can do, and if it is, take a risk.
The thing is, I've probably had more failures in my life than I have successes.
I can say that
too. Well, it's... well, you mean for you or for me?
No, for me.
Oh, yeah. See,
and for you. Just kidding.
Thank you. So I didn't think I told you all my failures, but, I guess I've got a few extra hours here today. The problem when it comes to the fear that Jerry's talking about is that you, as a person, sometimes hold yourself back from doing things. And ultimately, I think we are all our own worst enemies. Now, I'm not going to say that we're our only enemies out there, but sometimes we keep ourselves from doing something because we're afraid of we have a fear that is in our head.
Basically, you're the only one that can stop you. That's the thing. Is anybody
can go that far.
Hold on, though. Anybody can say anything that they want to you to try to convince you to do something.
Right.
But ultimately, you're the one that has to pull the trigger.
Right. No, that's true.
So you are your own worst enemy because you can literally take that feedback, and you're the one that can just stop the dream dead in its tracks. Now, I'm not saying that you can just go do anything you want whenever you want. You can just anything will materialize. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that if you always think of the worst and you always listen to all the negative and you always try to play it too safe, the answer is always going to be don't proceed. And you're just going to sit right where you're at. You're just going to coast.
So it's like the same situation that I had with the Patreon campaign.
Yeah.
I worried about setting it up and having the wrong goals, putting it out there and having nobody care. I mean, that was my big concern. One of my chief concerns was doing it and nobody latched on. And here we sit, 800 patrons in, and I'm already thinking like, God, I think we're going to hit 1,000 this year. I think we can do it. And that is for someone whose business model is contingent on people who are more like the patrons than the random subscribers who are out there. That's very uplifting, but it didn't happen without a great degree of thinking, stress, more thinking, more stress, thinking, and making a cavalcade of mistakes even before it happened, because there was always a risk. And in fact, there were a few people that they don't think I see what they're saying, but I do, because I watch when people are on Twitter and they use my last name. They don't tag me, but they use my last name. I've got, a unique enough last name, Pirillo. They'll say, gosh, Chris Pirillo is such a sellout. He's selling blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, well, who's this person? Oh, they're another YouTube creator. They're going to find themselves in the same position at some point in the future. And then they'll have to eat crow when it comes to actually figuring out what they're going to do to get past the problems that YouTube keeps throwing at them, to get past the problems that they don't control, that is the market situations. I took a step in doing what I wanted to do and continuing to do what other people said they wanted me to do, and do it in such a way that I could do it. And that was it was a huge gamble. Still to this day, Patreon is still the idea of going with patrons versus random subscribers is still a big risk. There are some people out there who just don't believe that's a good model, and I believe that the model that they're chasing, the idea of an advertising based model, I think it creates more stresses than this model does. And I think it's easier for me to address 800 people than it is for me to try to address 17,000 people who subscribe to this YouTube channel.
And for the record, I get called a sellout daily, and I don't even have a single sponsor for my channel. So,
and I find sponsors all the time. I have no problem with sponsors.
Yeah, no, I have a lot of friends in other YouTube channels that do them. I just don't do sponsorships just because I don't like the complexity of it. I like to be able to just walk away whenever I need to. With
sponsors, they can be tricky. I think sponsors are sometimes easier to deal with than advertising, and there's absolutely a difference. A sponsor is like, okay, here's the amount. Here's what we're asking for. Here's what we need you to do. Versus advertising, and advertising is usually based on an amount of page views or pulls. And I think that page views and pulls can be cheated. The relationship that I might have with someone can't be cheated. And I think when someone is qualified and said, I like what you do enough to say, here's $2 a month, I think that's a better connection to have with someone than it is to have someone who just doesn't put any of their own hard-earned money on the line to say, this is what I enjoy, this is what I like. I don't walk into a coffee shop and ask for something that I value without giving them something that they expect to receive in giving me what I want to receive from them. So we're in a stage in this industry where the idea of quote-unquote paying for content is an anomaly. And I think it's just a matter of time before it's not an anomaly. I think it's going to become the norm. And I think it has a lot of people really upset, but people were just as upset years ago when there was a suggestion that the idea of an operating system would be more like a service rather than something you just buy off the shelf.
I remember having to pay $200 to rent a VCR.
Yeah.
I remember those days.
So, the industry is going to change. And I think for content to survive, it's going to be more like a patron type of model. And I just assume be 800 people further ahead than everybody else, and knowing I can count on those relationships and let that flourish and grow with them, than wondering whether or not a video that I want to do is going to get any traction, because it's all based on ads, and I don't want to chase that model anymore. I think it's the wrong model for me.
I think this is good timing for me to throw something else out there too, and that is
this will probably be the last thing we can address.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So it's the whole sellout thing. First of all, in order for you to be a sellout, there has to be something to sell out too. A company's not going to approach you. A company's not going to want you to endorse you. A company's not going to want a relationship with you unless you've shown that you put the energy into it and everything and the passion that they're looking for. They also don't look for people to just push crap. Well, that's not true. Some of the Chinese companies do, but I just go away. But they want a symbiotic relationship. They do, because it doesn't make any sense for them to just say, here's some money, go endorse this. Maybe if you're a huge athlete or something like that, but even then, they're not going to want their name associated with something that's a piece of crap.
Right.
I've turned things away for review before that I've just sent back to the companies, and they're not mad about it. They aren't. They're like, okay, we understand this isn't for you. We'll go find somebody else. But I guess what I'm really trying to say is money is a motivator in a couple of different ways. Money's a motivator. One, it gets rid of a lot of stress. If you have money coming in some way, shape, or form, whether it be from YouTube or your daily job, or if YouTube is your daily job, that money allows you to pay your bills, take care of things, and then that takes that stress off your shoulders so that you can go focus on creativity, having fun, and doing the things that people enjoy.
Right.
When people come to my videos and they tell me I'm a sellout because I did a review on something that I actually liked, and just because I said at the beginning of the video, hey, the company sent this to me. This was free. I didn't get paid. They just gave me one of them to try. Oh, you're just a sellout. I'm like, no, I'm not. There's the motivation here is that I can sit here and I don't have to worry about it. I have my money from my job, or I have my money from this, taking care of everything else, so I can sit down and this is my fun. And the reason why people enjoy watching my videos is because I have fun making them. Nobody's going to want to watch my videos if I'm like, oh shit, man, did I pay the power bill? Oh man, oh god, oh what's going on? Oh, the car, they're towing the car out of my driveway now. I can't go anywhere. That's why I just have to crack up and say that it's so narrow-sighted when people come at. And this is the thing is, like I said, I don't have any sponsors. I actually have a 9-to-5 day job that I do. But I've seen what Chris does, and in a lot of ways, it's even more stressful than what I do. I've seen what a lot of other YouTuber producers, now that I'm up into, 100,000 or whatever, I'm starting to interact with some of the bigger guys. And I get to see what they go through, and I get to see the stresses that they handle. In a lot of ways, you might just look at it and say, oh, you're just creating a video for YouTube. No, it goes a lot deeper than that. It might have started like that in the very beginning. But no, it's nothing like that as you move along. When you have 100,000 voices crying out for attention, and you have people saying that one video is crap and they want every video to be like another video or they're going to leave, these are all stresses that build on you and build on and build on you. You have to cover them. So not having money be one of those stresses is a big deal.
And it ties very much in. I mean, I know that Stanley's not asking specifically about the business models that we might be in, but it falls into a business, because when it comes to a business, you've got the one thing you have to take care of. That's your baby, and if you do not treat that business like a baby, it's probably going to become petulant, and it's you're not going to feed it, and it's going to die. It's very. This is the closest thing and people ask me, do you think you're ready to be a father? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever be ready to be a father. I don't know if I ever would be, but the closest thing I've had to a baby has been the business. It's been something that has been fulfilling, but it's been something that I've had to deal with every single day of my life for the past 16 years. In 96. Was that 18? I'm horrible at math.
I am with dates for some reason. I don't know what it is. Numbers
96. So whenever, 1996, right? So, and I had no idea what I was doing back then. I still have no idea what I'm doing. I have a better idea about how to do what it is that I think needs to be done, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to hit it out of the park every single time. And sometimes you just have to try. You know, the good news is, you know, you can always try. If at first you don't succeed, try again.
Yeah, never give up. Never give up.
Even if, you know, like I said, I think we're happy. I'm happy enough with the way the Patreon campaign has been going. But if it didn't work, I would look and think, well, why didn't it work? I mean, is it a matter of timing? Was it a matter of value? Why didn't it work?
Yeah.
Or worse yet, did I not have a community that gave a shit that I existed? At which point I would say it's time to find a new community. I mean, honestly, that's the bottom line. I've had if the people who believed in me or said they believed in me did not believe me or believe in me enough to support me in that way, knowing what they want from me, not able to give back to me, I'd be really, really concerned about, you know, maintaining that type of relationship, because it wouldn't work. It would be a very unhealthy...
self-motivation's a big part of it, but you need
unhealthy,
more... Yeah.
It's a balance. It would be a very unhealthy relationship.
Yeah.
When I put a video out there, I don't worry about its views anymore, and I used to. I used to be very, very concerned.
Yeah, you have to be
that.
really careful watching metrics. That'll send you into a spiral.
Dude, I mean, I don't watch metrics, and I don't want to watch metrics. I'm tired of watching metrics. I'd rather watch relationships, and going after the patron model, it allows me that freedom so that I don't have to stress out about the things that I see all these other YouTubers stressing out about. I'm like, I'm done. I'm not going to do it anymore. I've done it before.
You know what Stanley might actually like to hear, and I know we're running a little long here, but there is one story I think he would like to hear. And as far as the risk stuff, I guess I'll put my iron on the table. I had to actually quit my job to go interview at Microsoft. It was a one-shot deal to go and interview, because it was a job that actually fit my description to go do, and my boss at the time would not let me go to interview. He said that he couldn't spare me, and it was my job, the only job that I had, and I literally was living paycheck to paycheck, barely getting by, eating top ramen. My roommate ducked out on me, so I couldn't even... I think I made $30 more a month than what my house payment was. I couldn't even pay the electric bill. And I quit my job right there on the spot. I quit my job, went and interviewed for Microsoft, and then literally came back, and they didn't call me for like 3 or 4 days. So I was just sitting at home, no money, couldn't pay the bills, everything gone. I took the biggest risk ever. I lost my job. But in the end, they actually called me. I got the job, and the rest is history. Yeah. And now I'm working at Microsoft, 15 years now in, senior software developer. And, you know, it's crazy to look back on that and say it all started because I didn't play it safe. I didn't go, oh, man, I have to have this paycheck, so I'm not going to go follow my dream. I'm just going to stay at this go-nowhere job.
So try it, and... If you fail, just take heart in knowing that other people fail too. Like I said, I've had a lot of failures. I don't always talk about them. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I bring them up, and just you know, I'm not going to live in my failures.
Are you going to recover? Yeah, you're not going to recover from every single failure in your life, but that's what makes them special, is because you learn from them.
Yeah,
they stay with you.
Yep. And if you don't learn from your mistakes, then you're going to be doomed to repeat them. And I've done my best to learn from my mistakes, and I've made a lot of mistakes. Trust me. Trust me. Okay, so we're about an hour. I don't know about you, but I'm knackered.
I'm actually pretty wiped out.
Can I use that word? Is that knackered? Is that... Hang on.
I think knackered is a word. I recognize that in the redneck vocabulary.
Knackered. Past. You look absolutely knackered. Past tense. British. What the fuck?
Knackered?
Yeah, no, it just says
past
knackered.
Tense.
British. Verb, informal, past tense, knackered. Okay,
damaged severely.
I just want the definition.
You look damaged.
Tires someone out. Exhausted.
All right.
Okay.
We are officially knackered.
That I'm using the British terminology for all my friends who speak British English.
Well, did I tell you I was up till 5:30 a.m. and the Jehovah's Witnesses knocked on my door and woke me up.
Shut up.
And I have a no soliciting sign on my door. Let's just say if the dude didn't have his wife and kid with him, that conversation would have gone a lot differently.
Oh, man.
I was very nice, but I was like ready to open that door and start
I'd have been nice. I'm like, you know what? Even God sleeps. And I'd shut the door. So, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, doing everything that you do. Jerry's channel link is in this video's description. You can click over to that if you... And I'm assuming if you watch Geek Out to this point, you probably know Jerry. Or if you...
Actually, you'd be surprised. A lot of people still come over after everyone and say, "Oh yeah, I found you through Chris's
cool.
Geek Out." Yeah.
How come I don't get any Jerry bleed over?
They don't like you.
Okay.
My subscribers think you're so
hashtag. Okay. Hashtag sellout is next week's or the next one.
No.
This is
Hashtag
lightweight.
sellout means they made it to this point.
No.
Okay.
I like lightweight.
Okay,
Lightweight's
lightweight.
funnier.
Okay, lightweight.
Sellout's too negative.
But
It's
you
too
gave it up
jabby.
too early, though.
Nah, it's too
Okay.
jabby. It's
All
too
right.
jabby.
All
I don't
right.
like the negativity. I try to keep the negativity out of my life.
All right,
so,
sell in. Sell in.
There you go.
Hashtag sell in.
No. Lightweight. I still
Lightweight.
like
All right,
lightweight.
we're sticking with lightweight.
Sell in could be the next one.
All right.
So thanks everybody for tuning in. We are knackered, so we're going to now go do other things.
Yeah.